In this video, I'm going to show you how to put in a list of data and find things like mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and how to find the 5-number summary. So the first thing we want to do is if a problem gives us a list of numbers, we have to type that in first. And so in our first input spot, we need to go to this f of x, and then we'll do the squiggly brackets, and inside we can do a list of numbers. I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I press enter, and it's named it up here, but I can also choose to name it something else that's easier, like A. And then if I want to find certain things, I would hit the 3 dots here on the right. I've already looked up a bunch of stuff in my recently used, but if your stuff isn't showing up there, you would instead type in the search what you want. So if I want to find the mean or the average, I start typing in mean and it pops up there. And then I would say I want to find the mean of A. And so since I've already stored that list first, when I do mean of A, it knows to find the mean of that list, which would be 3.5. I can do the same thing again, but this time maybe search for median. And again, I would just do A in the parentheses, and there's the median. In this example, mean and median look like the same thing. Let's do another one. So maybe mode. So if I do the mode of A, notice that in my answer, it's just showing up with empty brackets there, whereas before I was getting answers. And what this is telling me is that there is not a mode because I don't have any numbers that are showing up more than once. So if you have mode that looks like that, that means we don't have a mode. But I could easily go up here and maybe modify my list. Let's say my list had 2 3s in it. When I press enter, my mean's going to change, my median changes, and now I actually have a mode, which is 3. Let's see, if I add in another number, maybe another 5, again, mean, median's going to change, and now on mode, it's going to list 2 numbers because both 3 and 5 show up more than one time. They both show up twice, so they're both considered mode. All right, let's find some other stuff. So hit the 3 dots, and then if I want to find standard deviation, I'm going to start typing in ST. And the third thing on my list is STDEV. That stands for standard deviation. And again, if I just put A in the parentheses and hit enter, that decimal right there is my standard deviation. Other thing that we would need to find is our 5-number summary. So there's not just one button I can hit for my entire 5-number summary, but I can find the individual numbers that go into that. So the first thing is minimum. So if I type MIN, I'm going to pick the first thing, min of A, and then it says it's 1, which was my minimum value of that list. I do it again for max for A, and it's 6. The other parts of our 5-number summary were the first quartile. So I'm going to start typing in quartile. And here I have option between picking quartile 1 or quartile 3. I'm going to do 1 first. I'm going to type in A, and it's 2.5. I'm going to do it again. Pick quartile 3 of A, so finds that. So I have min, max, my 2 quartiles, and the other part of my 5-number summary would be the median, but I actually already found that one up here. So there's all those numbers. If I want Geogebra to graph a box plot, I'm going to go and search for box plot, and it's right here. And if I hit the 3 dots next to that, remember it'll show up telling me what I'm supposed to be plugging in, but also that doesn't show up for very long. So I'm going to go back in here, and there's a question mark next to box plot that I'm going to hit, and it tells me what to enter. So the first thing I'm supposed to be putting is Y offset, and what this means is how far off, how far up or down the box plot will show up on my graph. So if I put in 0, it'll show up on the x-axis. If I put in 1, then it'll be shifted up and it'll be at y equals 1. The second thing we're going to put in is y scale. So we're going to set this at 1. This is going to determine the height of my box plot. So let's go look at this. So I would do, I'm going to put in first, I'm going to say I want it to start at y equals 0, comma, I want it to have a height of 1, comma, and then I'm just going to type in A since I already have that list. So now you can see on my graph, there's my box plot. and it's on the Y or on the x-axis. And I can zoom in on that and see that it starts at 1, and I go to the right and it ends at 6. My median is right there at 3.5, and it looks like first quartile at 2.5, third quartile at 5. Back to what we did for Y offset and Y scale. Maybe if I decided to make the first number 1, now you'll see that the box plot has been shifted up 1. If I put in a 2, it's been shifted up to 2. So it's going to change the look of it. That second number determined the height. So if I put in a 2 for that, now it's a taller box plot. And if I put in 0.5, now it's a smaller box plot.